Jeff and Jeremy in the Morning podcast brought to you commercial free by another podcast. You've subscribed to ours, now subscribe to theirs. It's the Slow County Real Estate Podcast with Hal Swayze. When you're done with this, go listen to something that will actually enrich your life. California DRE 011111911.
Out there. Science has come up with the ultimate healthiest meal. You get a starter, a main course, and a dessert with this, by the way. This is
in the end, science wins.
Yes.
According to the folks at Pfizer.
You start off with some kind of Indian cheese, like from India. It's called Abanet cheese. It's a fermented cheese. And you pair it up with some roasted tomatoes and broccoli. It's big in the Middle East, by the way, this cheese. I may be saying it wrong. Labaneh, Labneh. Labanah. Not really sure. It's got healthy bacteria. It's good for your gut. That's your starter. Your main course is going to be citrus mackerel salad with chickpeas, fennel, and red onions. Mackerel is a fish. It's apparently the best fish for you to consume because it's loaded with omega-3s. You top it with black olives, some sauerkraut, and pumpkin seeds. How's that sound for a salad, Jeff? And then you finish off.
Fish salad? I've never had fish salad before in my life.
I don't think I've ever had mackerel. I've only heard of mackerel, I've heard people catch mackerel. I've heard them use it as bait.
No, thank you.
This is making me want to go open some sardines for breakfast.
I do like sardines.
Citrus mackerel.
I will get after a can of sardines. Yeah. It's always got to be in the hot sauce. I don't like the mustard sauce. I don't like just the regular oil. It's okay. I mean, the oil's okay. I can't.
You can put hot sauce on it. That's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to put some hot sauce on it.
Yeah, I like it when it's sitting in that hot sauce because then it marinates.
Sure. You know what I'm thinking about doing, just to gross out my wife, is take the sardines, put it in a Ziploc bag with the hot sauce to let it marinate in the fridge. I guarantee she will open that fridge and she will shut the door going, "What the hell is that?" Well, you should try this. I know your wife gets grossed out pretty easy, doesn't she?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just take some sardines, put them in a sandwich bag and stick them in the refrigerator. Right when she opens the
sardines?
door. Hey, my sardines.
But the problem with that is they're packed in oil, right?
Yeah.
And they'll coagulate once you get them cold in the refrigerator.
Well, the purpose isn't for you to eat. It's just to gross out or just to play.
Well, then that would work because it would gross me out, too.
Probably your daughter. And is your son into it? He probably isn't into it either.
Sardines? No, nobody likes sardines in my house.
Have you even tried to give anybody sardines, like your kids? See, my dad introduced me to this stuff when I was a kid. That's why I like it. Because I'm like, "What are you eating, Dad?" He's like, "Well, I'm having a sardine. You want to try one?" I'm like, "Sure."
I'll try.
He's
I'll
like,
get a couple cans.
And then he would say, I really looked up to my Grandpa Dan. He's like, your Grandpa Dan would eat these. He eats these. And I'm like, "Oh, let me try one." And
my kids are grossed out by all kinds of fish.
And then that's how I got into oysters. First oyster I ever had came in a can. It was smoked in an oil. The same
I feel like
can.
fish face an unfair stereotype by our eyes and our brains from an early
I love
early
fish so
age
much.
because fish are hideous looking, so therefore people are like, "Oh, I'm not going to eat that." But fish is probably some of the best food for you, right?
Well, how about when you were dating the crying Hawaiian and she took you over to meet the family, and they eat the fish and they fight over the eyeball, they get the head on and everything.
That kind of ruined me on fish.
What kind of fish was that? Was that a mackerel?
Tilapia.
Oh, tilapia. Those are like farm raised.
They fried the tilapia
usually
in oil.
Okay.
And then they pulled it out, put it on a plate, and they all fought over who got to eat the eyeball. And I was like, "That's it. I'm done."
Did you eat any of the tilapia itself?
Yeah.
Was it good? Was it like?
Yeah,
I'm sure it was seasoned too, right? It was just oil and fish, right?
Right.
They had some seasoning on it. Yeah, tilapia to me has no flavor to it. I've bought it at the store.
Yeah, it was
a white
fine.
meat, and it's just the texture's kind of.
It's good for fish tacos. Because you're going to put other stuff on it.
Yeah.
Fish tacos. Tilapia is good for fish tacos.
I think, that's the kind of, it just doesn't really, it's like tofu, right? Tofu has no flavor. It's what you add to it.
Now, salmon, on the other hand, that's steak of the sea, my friend. That is just a good, hearty, good fish. That halibut, good fish, Dense.
Yeah.
I want some dense.
I'm okay with salmon. I'm okay with salmon. It's not my favorite. I don't know why. I like it raw actually better than I like it cooked. Or what are they, lox? You know, where it's smoked. It's really gently smoked.
Yuck. I see.
I would much rather have a salmon smoked than cooked with onions and garlic.
I like it cooked and smoked. Cooked and smoked is great. That's the right way to smoke salmon. Unfortunately,
what do you mean? You mean you cook it and then you smoke it, or are you talking about when you get it's almost like jerky, like it's off?
Smoked so much, yeah, it's almost like jerky.
No, it's dried out a little bit. That's really good stuff.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Sounds
like
good.
how they do it in the Pacific Northwest, where salmon originate.
Let's see here. I'm going to open up a picture of this.
And Alaska.
This mackerel salad. Good. Oh, look at that.
Love smoked salmon, man.
You would. Oh, yeah, it's really good. Well, let's get back to the mackerel. I mean, are you going to try a mackerel now because it's the healthiest fish you can eat according to science?
Nope, I'll eat the fish I like.
It looks a lot like
sardine.
that fish you had in Hawaii.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea. But that salad does not. Yeah, fish salad. I don't know. It just seems weird. Oh, yeah, go ahead and put this fish on a salad and mix it up.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Fish on a sandwich is great.
Wow.
Salmon. I mean,
I would eat all of this that they're showing. And by the way, dessert comes with this meal as well. This is the healthiest meal in the world. Okay. Once again, it's a fermented cheese from the Middle East called lamane, and some broccoli and roasted tomatoes. That's your appetizer. Then the mackerel salad with chickpeas, fennel, and red onion, broccoli, and then tofu chocolate mousse with blueberries. All right. I don't know what tofu plays into this, but I guess tofu must be healthy.
The chocolate mousse is made of tofu. Yeah. I would think, and that sounds disgusting. So, no, thank you.
93.3 KZOZ rocks. Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
This might come as a bit of a surprise to you, but a new study on studyfinds.org says that problems from cannabis, memory problems, that is, may last long after quitting. Even if you stop smoking weed, your memory, your cognitive.
Well, the damage is done, right? I mean, alcohol, weed, these things all kill brain cells. We've known that for quite some time.
They studied just over 1,000 young adults between the ages of 22 and 36. And they found that people who had used cannabis heavily throughout their lives. So that means a lot, like wake and bake 3 times a day type thing. They showed less brain activity during memory tasks compared to those who never used marijuana. Or rarely used marijuana in that instance. The difference was most noticeable in brain regions that help us pay attention, make decisions, and temporarily store information. Like pay attention, that's like the number one telltale sign, right? Of somebody who's like, hey, what? Huh?
Yeah.
What were you talking about?
Hard to keep attention on a conversation. You must smoke a lot of weed because I have a hard time getting you to pay attention to me.
Smoke a ton of. Well, when you start talking about Phil Collins, that's like.
Hey, let it go. It was yesterday. All right, today. Come on, it's Friday. Let it go. Just let it go.
And then, but to your defense,
he's one of the best. He's one of the best.
Your tenacity to stay on Phil Collins for 5 minutes is what eventually wakes me up out of my coma, and I'm like, whoa, wait, we're still talking about Phil Collins here?
You know how happy I am. I got to see him on his finally I think his tour was called Not Dead Yet tour. And I went and saw him at the Forum in Los Angeles. So excited to see. I mean, I'm so happy I did that. Plus, he hasn't toured since then. And he probably won't because he's got a lot of back issues and nerve issues. And he's actually, I mean, he looks rough, but I believe he's in pretty good health outside of his back and his nerve issues. And he has to walk with a cane, and he can't stand, he can't play drums anymore. As a matter of fact, I was talking to somebody else that's really into music, unlike yourself, and knows a lot about music, unlike yourself. And he was telling me that it's the way he drummed for so many years. And other drummers would be like, I don't know how he does that. That's going to kill his back. And, well, here we are in 2025. He's got to walk with a cane and can't drum.
A real professional would have done it the proper way so he'd have longevity.
Maybe that's the case. I'll let him know that you're the real professional. That
A true great. No, I'm not saying that I'm the true professional, but there are pros in any line of work, and he apparently was not a pro. He was just almost there.
I was talking to a guy the other day who works in the lumber industry, and he was talking about CBD salve. It comes from cannabis. And really, that's the miracle, I think, that has come out of marijuana. It's not getting stoned, even though that's fun, right? But, you know.
That's the fun side effect of it.
But there's so many good things about the plant that I don't think we've even discovered yet. And talking to other cannabis cultivators, that's what they like to be called instead of growers now, is... you know, there's a lot there still to be discovered. There's a lot of receptors we have in our body that.
Is there something offensive about the word grower?
I don't know, but I was still cultivator. He's a cultivator.
I'm not a grower, man. I'm a cultivator.
And you don't call it, as you've heard Suzanne say in the Post, by the way, who I'm pretty sure is test drove every strain there is. She calls it flower, not bud or weed.
Like there's the research in that industry cracks me up. The research in that industry cracks me up. They're like, okay, bud and weed has a negative connotation to it, but flowers are happy. Everybody loves flowers. So let's just go ahead and call it flower.
Well, I don't know. You were working with a weed shop for a while. Did you ever think about asking them some of the tough questions?
Well, no, that's exactly where the rationale comes from. Like I just laid it out. I mean, there's no
but we all know that you think
it.
You're a know-it-all and you just come up with your own theories. I want to see the proof.
Isn't the proof in the word that they're used? Like they don't refer to it as bud for a reason because it has a negative connotation. So they go with flower. It's like these companies that stress their diversity and all that stuff. Like they all keep different words. They just change words. That's all they do. Is
cultivator, flower.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Cannabinoid. Cannabinoid. What is a cannabinoid?
Well, it's a part of the plant.
It's a way of saying cannabis without saying cannabis.
No. Cannabis and cannabinoids are different. Cannabinoids are in cannabis. I've learned that from talking to a cultivator.
Wait, I find that highly offensive. You mean that they're something that you find in flower? Because cannabis, man, nobody wants to be attached to that. Stupid stoners.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning on 93.3 KZOZ.
So I'm not really sure what to do in this situation that ever happened to me. Good morning, it is Jeff and Jeremy. This is KZOZ. Logan Paul, the guy that fought Mike Tyson.
LP.
And his brother. What's his brother's name, by the way? Logan, is it Jake Paul? Jake, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So apparently Jake got Logan a watch. Really expensive watch. And he went to the airport, and when he got home, it was not in his bag. Now, he says the watch is $300,000 watch. Why would you put that in your carry-on?
Why would you buy?
Or why would you put that?
Why would you buy a watch that's $300,000?
Because these guys are worth millions.
Buy a watch, period?
It's not a big deal. These guys, this is nothing to them. So I'll tell you what my watch costs. It was a hand-me-down from my wife. Look at back on the Apple Watch.
So it's free. It was free.
And I got another watch that was a gift. It is $400 watch. It's a gift. It's like a Citizen or something. It's a cool watch because it charges in the sun. It's got a solar battery. So that's kind of cool. So that's the most expensive piece of anything on me when I go to the airport.
Jewelry. Call it what it is. It's jewelry.
Okay, it's jewelry. So I take it off.
Because there's no need in 2025 to have time on your wrist. If it was 1955,
yes, it is.
Yes, you would need.
I'm in a lot of places. I don't carry my cell phone with me everywhere like you teenage girl. I wear a watch like a man.
Where do you put
man.
your cell phone?
I don't carry it with me. I leave it everywhere.
The guy that gets mad for not getting a text message response immediately
during work.
Not carry.
Those are work
does
hours.
Not carry his phone with
during
him
work.
everywhere?
During the week, I always have my phone with me. But while I'm working, when I'm not working, my phone stays at home. I go out, my phone stays at home. It does go with me sometimes.
Watches for flashy people that like to
I wear a watch because
like to stress their importance
that's how you tell
on
time.
society.
All right, you don't need to depend on your phone, you girl, and your TikTok videos. But here's the deal: that's not the point of the conversation.
You could call me names for not wearing a watch. I'm not calling you names for wearing a watch. I'm just saying.
Sorry, I'm not trying to offend women either or girls, but Jeff acts like a teenage girl with his phone. He's like always on it. But anyways, I would take my watch off, and I do. I take my phone off, my watch off, and my phone. I put it right in my backpack, and I'm eyeballing that thing the whole time. Now, here's what he said to his brother when he lost his $300,000 watch that he suspects TSA stole.
I have horrible news, Jake.
What is it?
The watch that you got me.
Chill. Oh my gosh, this is gorgeous, Jake. He has a Protect, but I wanted to get him an AP.
It got stolen at the airport.
Yeah.
I have reason to believe someone opened my bag during TSA and nabbed it out of there.
TSA guy took it.
I don't want to point any fingers, but those definitely took it, allegedly, in my opinion. Actually, 2 watches, Jake. The other one was $250,000 Protect.
I got my watch stolen this year, too.
You did?
Yeah, the Black Richard Mille.
Anyways. Okay, it sounds like a bunch of douchebags that have a lot of money. Yeah.
Who cares?
That
Please
probably
stop
lost
talking
it.
about yourself for once.
Because
it is boring and irrelevant and insulting.
And, because they just don't have a care in the world because they got all kinds of money. So maybe that's what it was. How many millions did you get for the Tyson fight? So...
No, that's exactly why any of that was. I mean, was there music behind that? Was there music behind that?
This must be a reality show or something that we were watching.
Okay, see, this is all for show. They're like, oh yeah, big deal. No sweat off my sack. I just lost a $300,000 watch. That's how rich we are. It's a rich brag is what it ends up being. Just like anybody who has a watch is like, oh, look how fancy I am. I have a watch. I'm a throwback. What was that show? Oh man, with John Hamm, it was big deal. They were ad executives. Come on, you know what show I'm talking about.
Oh,
it was big in the 15 years ago.
Men or I forget what it's called. Suits? No, that's the other one. I get it confused with.
That's yours. That's yours. Mad Men.
Mad Men. Yeah, I knew it was something.
Mad Men.
Well,
yes.
Here's the thing. I mean,
we got watches. We're like Mad Men.
Okay, but what if you went through the airport and you think TSA stole something?
You can't really complain to anybody.
You go to the guy in the booth over there and like, hey, I think he took my watch. Can we check?
They're talking
check
about
him out?
They're talking about doing away with TSA. That it's ineffective.
God, we just found out yesterday that a slow police officer went through security with a loaded firearm. And he was traveling. I don't think he was working. I think he was traveling.
Dude, you know how many times I've gone through TSA with a water bottle in my backpack?
Well, they found the gun, Jeff. They took the gun, and now they let him board the flight.
Right? No,
but just because you're a police officer, you're not supposed to carry a loaded firearm on the plane. You could transfer, or you can whatever you want to say. Check a firearm if it's in a secure lock box.
It was probably an accident.
But
you probably forgot.
I worry about this all the time, like putting expensive stuff in my checked bags and then putting it on the airplane.
You shouldn't be traveling with that kind of stuff. Do you travel with your electric toothbrush, or
sometimes
do you
I have to travel with my radio equipment.
Disposable toothbrush?
I mean, I've got laptops. I mean, it's not crazy, but I've got a couple $1,000.
Nobody wants that.
A couple $1,000 worth of laptops and tablets and all that kind of stuff in there. Hell, the microphone's $500, and I put Fragile all over it, and it's always never had an issue. But I'm sure there's other people that got home. They're like, oh, wait, where did that go?
Do you, when you check those bags that have all that expensive...
I don't check it.
Very, very, very important equipment. Oh, you walk it on?
I now walk it on. I should have said that. I have checked it once, bothered me to the point where I'm like, you know what, I'll just carry it on from now on. They're laptops and tablets. And
the one time you
lightweight
did check it, did you make sure to pull the cuff up on your shirt to show them that you were wearing a watch, to show that you were an important person?
I don't wear shirts with cuffs, so...
Everybody wears a shirt with all shirts have cuffs.
Okay. No, I know what you're trying to say, douchebag. And let me tell you, I take the watch off when I get to the airport and I put it in my backpack. It goes on there.
Okay,
so.
Then you're going to meet the same fate as the Paul boys did.
No, I'm not, because I'm watching it. Well, what, do you think the guy that was scanning it right there in front of him took it? That would be pretty sneaky, pretty slick.
No. And I think it was all a made-up story for whatever
reality
their
TV show they're on.
YouTube. Yeah, YouTube endeavor.